David Jenyns here from Melbourne SEO Services, and we've just got another client coaching case study now. I'm here with Michael Hanson. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I've been working with Michael now for over a few months now, and there's something about Michael when, he came to me as a coaching client and got in touch with me, and I think what I like most about Mike is he's just got so much passion, drive, loves what he does, and he's one of those guys who just wears his heart on his sleeve, and just he wants to deliver value and add value to people's lives. So when he sort of first came to me, I thought, yeah, this is someone that I really wanted to work with. I just good vibe. So we've been working for a little while now. I thought, for someone who's thinking about maybe getting some coaching, it's always helpful and handy to hear the experience that someone else has had, sort of, been before them on the road that they've travelled. So maybe, Mike, if you want to sort of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you do and where you're up to, maybe just before you started, getting in touch with me and what you're up to.
Well, I'm Michael, so I have a company called VideoLabs, and we help small to medium-sized businesses with video. And before I started even to create VideoLabs, I was working for Yellow Pages, and I dealt with around 850 businesses in the UK. I worked in the UK and Australia, in Brisbane, and I was doing well, and then there was a shift, a massive shift, and I probably lost about $500,000 in my portfolio of people. And so I knew from then that I needed to go into the online space because that's where it was all going.
Yeah.
And so I went on this big search, this learning search of what can I do, how can I learn, what can I learn, and that's when I started to do the challenge. So I was doing, I did Ed Dale's stuff, and started to just consume. And the biggest frustration that I had when I first started out was there was way too much information, and I had no focus whatsoever.
Yeah. At all.
And that's when I decided that there's no way I could do this on my own.
It's funny, I know you had quite a few things going. I know it started off, before we focused in on and found your niche, you had Gold Coast Marketing Labs, and that was, I remember there was just...
And that was like a supermarket. We turned that into, I just basically said we could do it all, because I'd learned it all, and I had some good knowledge of it, but I think in this... in the internet space, in my business, I think it's important to be very focused. Yeah. And I got a lot of that from you, is that you just do one thing, do it well, and systemize that baby and get that bad boy running at optimum level. And
it's funny, I know it's one of those things, because you already came very highly knowledgeable. You'd already done a lot of training. You already knew a lot of the stuff. So it wasn't so much that you didn't know. You knew the tactics. It was about, you were getting this level of frustration. Maybe even tell us how, once you had that level of frustration, and you'd come across a lot of different things, what made you sort of stumble across my stuff and think, maybe I actually need some help with, even though you knew all the stuff?
Yeah. You're right. I did not know a lot of it, and that, to me, that was the problem. I knew too much.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you go to shopping for cologne, if you smell too many colognes, you don't know which one to do and which one to have. And so I stumbled across, I actually didn't stumble across you. I've seen you in many different things that you've done. Actually, when I was working back in Yellow Pages, I've seen you go out and interview, which is an amazing
Google versus
video.
Yellow Pages.
Yeah, great video. And even now I use that as a form of showing my clients. I show that to my clients, which is an awesome thing to do, and I highly recommend, if you in the online space, that you check that video out and then use it.
We had lots of people. We had some people who just sort of took it and tried to claim it as their own. Maybe that's the best form of flattery, but we really hit the mark when it comes to sort of what was going on with the Yellow Pages, and I suppose that really spoke to you. Being from the Yellow Pages place, you'd had that frustration. You'd moved out, looked for something else. that really resonated with you, and you come across some of our stuff. And then, was there any sort of tipping point, or did you come across something that thought, maybe I'm going to get in touch with this guy, David Jenyns?
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of gurus out there, and a lot of guys that and doing well. Some of them are doing really well, and for me though, it was I knew it was pretty hard to get the mentoring program, to get into it. But what I did do was what I was looking for specifically was somebody that could help me focus and help me build out a system. And most entrepreneurial type people, or people that are building businesses, would have read the E-Myth.
Yeah.
And the E-Myth is all about building out that system and having things run at a really good thing. And I know
without you, it's like so you can work on your business rather than in your business.
Yeah, and look, I know that you're well known for that. That's one of your things, is that you're extremely systemized, and that was probably a bit of a weakness of mine. So I just felt that I needed to have you particular around me to help me systemize and channel my energy into where it needs to go, and so far.
What happened with the step? Like, I mean, so you sort of came to this, and then, I mean, you just picked up the phone. A lot of people, I know in another case study that we had, one of the clients was saying that, you know, he was thinking, oh, you know, in his head, he built me up or something in his head. Yeah. And then when he got on the phone, he's like, hey, Dave's a real guy who wants to help me. Like, I'm just wondering what got you to go over the edge, pick up the phone, and how was it? Once we started chatting, what was... Yeah. Was it as you expected or different, or...
Look, for me, when before I was just about to pick up the phone, when I look back at that space, the biggest challenge that people are having right now, and if you're watching this, I can feel you, because I know for a fact you're either very, very confused, and look, if you can manage to get in with somebody like Dave, it's a very good thing to do. But before that, so going back before I picked that phone up, I was extremely confused.
Yeah.
I had done way too many courses. I had spent way too much money, and I needed a real person that was in Australia, that knew what they were doing, that was having results. And the beautiful thing about you is you've had experience in the stock market, and so you're very good with numbers. And then you've had you were actually in a service-based business very similar to what we were trying to do, and then we found through that discovery process that you put me through that really video was where I really wanted to be.
Yeah. I remember that when we uncovered it, because it was
brilliant.
It was so, like you said at the start, it was a bit like a supermarket with all of the different choices in the old company, and then it's like you find your passion, really channeled it in, distilled it down, got clear on what you were going to offer, and I mean that process, and that was over the course of a few. It's funny as well, because I whenever I'm working with someone, I don't like to push them in. It's almost like they need to make the decision. You need to make the decision yourself. Yeah. I can help and guide, but there's nothing worse. I remember I had a coach. I have plenty of coaches, and one of the coaches, my early coach, he was telling me, okay, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, and it didn't resonate with. It wasn't my plan, and his plan probably would have worked, but you need to design your own plan.
Yep.
And I mean, you're so passionate about video. Like, I mean, you can look at the quality of this video and you get all jazzed when we talk about, you know, the audio equipment that we're doing. And I mean, you're in your space. You found it. And really, it was just a matter of uncovering that. The process that we went through when we were chatting. So we started chatting on the phone, and I suppose each time give you a few little tasks. And how was that? Like, I mean, was what was the process like that we went through? I don't know how you'd explain it for someone who hasn't done it. Like, did it feel? I don't know.
It felt good. It felt like I mean, I had to, when we first met, because when you're at that kind of position yourself as a bit of an authority, there's a fair few people that want to get So you have to put people through a qualifications step.
Yeah.
You would have to, otherwise
you'd
end up with anyone and everyone.
I want someone who takes action. Like, I mean, that
right.
speaks volumes for you, because I only work with people that I know I can help.
Yeah.
There's no point in me, because when I think about clients that I want to work with, I want to have lifetime relationships with my clients and help them move through and grow quicker and faster than they've ever imagined possible, and over the long term. So I look for people who are going to take it and implement. And that's what I was saying at the start. I mean, you've just got so much energy. It's just a matter of channeling it into the right things. So,
and so the process was good, because we started off small, and then we got it was they said clarity is power, and trust me, that's really is a powerful thing to have. Is a very clear vision for what you want to do in the next 12 to 3 years, and I think that's the biggest thing that we did at the start, was to get super clear, very clear, and it was a very healing process to go through, because there's so much confusion out there. And if you're lucky enough to get in with somebody like Dave or somebody in this space, and I'm not going to
finding someone you resonate
just
with.
Finding somebody that you resonate with that will be able to help you. It's the best thing you can do. It is the best thing you can do. There's probably nothing, in my opinion, it's better than any course.
Everybody needs courage.
You do as well.
Everyone
does.
It's a elite athletes, perfect example. That you need someone, and to get that outside perspective, and just to help with that. So I mean, we work together, and I know we sort of articulated where it is that you're heading, and we're already starting to see some results now. Now that we've got really clear on that, and I've got a bit of a set structured process that I go through, even though it's tailored for everyone. There are a few things that you need to figure out. Where are you now? Getting clear on, where are you going? Building out your business model to make sure that whatever you're building out from a business, that it's going to, when we get there, it's going to help you achieve those goals that you're looking for. And then it's a step-by-step process. And okay, well, let's do this first. We need to do this before we do that. It's all about good foundations, building the right systems. So now that we've started to apply that, I mean, VideoLabs is now, the baby has been launched.
Yes.
And maybe tell us a little bit about what's happened after now. 3 months is such a short period of time, considering how much time you had your head into studying and learning. And what sort of happened now that we've been working?
Now we've been working together. Well, I'm starting to make some money.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's very good. And specifically, I mean, our first, I always say our first, because I feel like you're a partner of mine now. I always say our thing. But my first sale was around 16.5 grand. So and we built that out together. And look, a lot of it as well is.
I have to put my coaching prices up. That pays for itself.
It has paid for itself. Paid for itself. But basically, the other thing as well with confusion, because this is how I felt. So people that are watching this, that would be feeling confused, ready to maybe look at coming on board with a coach, is confidence as well. He's being able to say, okay, well, that's the package we're selling. Do you think that's a good package to sell? And it's like, it's good to get that second opinion. And then the more I suppose that we were getting yeses together, we were agreeing on things. I was saying, let's do this, and you bring me back, because shiny objects is a big thing in this game. You always want to, we did it this week, and I looked to show you something, and you were like, come back.
How does it apply to what you're doing
and what we're doing right now? So I think it's really good to get a second opinion as well, and that builds up your confidence in selling. So when you're selling, you've just you've got an expert that's watching, like a guardian angel over your business, to make sure that you are selling the right stuff, the right shit, almost, so to speak, that you're not just putting out. Because remember the one thing, I said, well, let's sell this, and you said, have you tried it yourself? And I said, no.
You have to believe in it.
You have to believe in it yourself. You have to do it yourself. And so my confidence levels are through the roof. in terms of where I believe that because I know for a fact you wouldn't, and I wouldn't either, but I know you wouldn't put your name to my business and me selling something that was rubbish.
Yeah.
And so the same thing would apply to the people that are watching this. It's a really good thing to do. I'm telling you, it's the best investment you'll make.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I've had some very good results, amazing results so far, and I think we've got a nice, bright future.
Yeah. I know you started to sort of book a few good clients, which is great to see now. I mean, and it'll just start to build on it as word starts to get out. If people are on the Gold Coast and they want to get good quality video, they're going to start to look up VideoLabs. The other thing, the real key takeaway, and if you are a little bit confused and there's lots of different options, when you build a plan, this comes back to my stock market days, it was all about building a set of rules that when you're looking to trade a particular stock, the stock needs to exhibit certain criteria. And if it exhibits certain criteria, then it's an opportunity for you to jump in. Now, if we take that same principle to business, you're looking at defining, well, what criteria does something need to exhibit before you consider taking it into your business? And what that system actually does is it doesn't necessarily alert you of opportunities, it keeps you out of stuff that you shouldn't be in. That's the whole goal of a system. A system is to stop you from doing things that you shouldn't be doing. So what we do for businesses and your business is we created that system now. So when you are studying and learning, you can just go, that doesn't fit into my plan, that doesn't fit into my plan, that doesn't, and it keeps you, and then it's only when something hits your criteria, and then you go, bang, that's for me. I know that's something that I need to do because it fits exactly what it is that I'm looking for. And it's, so, I mean, I love hearing stories like this. This is why I do this. I channeled coaching into 1 day a week because, I mean, it's Tuesdays, you know that, because you're building businesses, my own businesses, but I find it so rewarding working with people like yourself who are doing stuff, making it happen. And I mean, you inspire other people now. They'll see that, and I mean, I saw it this weekend, having a few people come up and say, I started off checking out the SEO method of yours, and it's had a big impact. I've gone on and this and done that, and that's why I do it. So I can't thank you enough for your time.
Mate, I can't thank you enough. But I think the last thing I want to say, because I know a fair few people will see this, is if you are looking for somebody to work with, ring Dave. if you can get in with him, but So, are you taking anyone?
For the right people. It's always for the right people.
Okay.
So it depends on where's someone at. Can I help them? Are we a good fit? And is there space? Like I said, I like to channel it into 1 day. So best thing to do is to get in touch. I mean, one final thing, because you kind of hit it on there. Is there any final things as far as if let's say you're talking to a friend or a family member? Because I always like to say that, if you were going to recommend something or say something to a close family member, is there anything that you could say to them? Because you want to try and get it across to them. Is there anything else that you'd say to them if they're thinking about this, or what should they do next if they're thinking about it? Or I suppose you kind of said it.
Pick up the phone and ring him straight away. Because I'm a big believer in I wish I'd have got to you sooner. Yeah. I genuinely do. I've probably saved thousands of dollars, and not only just money. It's not just money. This is the thing it's time. It's time. It's the late nights. It's sitting up. I've got children as well, so it's not easy. And and the internet presents a beautiful opportunity for businesses and for entrepreneurs to have a lifestyle. And look, the big dream's always been thrown in our face. And but people don't realise that you've got to work hard at it, and you've got to grind. But if you just have that focus and that guardian angel, as I say, I think you will just speed up the process a lot quicker.
Fantastic. All right, we'll wrap up and say, if anyone wants to find out more about getting videos done, and they're on the Gold Coast or in Queensland, Where do they go?
They go to www.videolabs.com.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much for
Thanks,
your time.
man. Thank you.
See you guys.